What is up, everybody? Today is December 15th. We're halfway through December. We are 10 days away from Christmas, and we've got a great show for you tonight. I'm Dr. Duckbone, world famous bariatric surgeon. I've got my really good friend, America's #1 money mentor, Mr. Chris Nagel on, who's done north of $50 million worth of real estate. He's going to teach us what to do with our money. Are you having trouble during this pandemic? Do you have some pandemic money woes like most of us? Is it a struggle? Have you been furloughed? Have you been laid off? Has your position been eliminated? We're going to tell you what you can do to take control of your money. Plus, we're going to give you some free training. Tonight's totally free training. Plus, Chris has a free training for you tomorrow with an opportunity to win an Amazon Echo Show. Do you know what this is? Do you know what who wants an Amazon Echo Show? It's and it's so ironic. He told me about this today. He goes, "Hey, tonight I want to give away this Amazon Echo Show." I was like, "I just ordered one." It's the screen where you can watch YouTube videos, you can listen to podcasts, you can if someone else has another Skype or Echo device, you can like talk to each other. It's an actual screen. It's going to be fantastic. So it's not an Alexa. It works like an Alexa, except it has a video screen. So you'll have an opportunity to win one of those totally free. Doesn't cost you anything to enter. You just have to show up to the webinar. That's it. And I'm going to get Chris to share his funny story about that's how he changed his life was by going to a conference to win an iPhone or something, or an iPad, or I don't know, a lap dance. I don't know. He went to go win something. So, we're going to talk about the crisis, what's happening. You know, hopefully you've been listening to what I've been trying to tell you, and you haven't buried your head in the corner. You've taken control of your money. You're trying to sell shit on Facebook Marketplace. You're working on your side hustle. You're doing second, third jobs while you're on furlough. Maybe you're doing some sort of online app or gig mile, you know, the gig economy or last mile economy. You're delivering, you're driving, you're cleaning houses, you're mowing yards, you're raking leaves, you're shoveling snow. You're doing something because the new economy is going very, very different. All right. Let's see. Where are you guys watching from? Treasure Grace is watching on Facebook. Where are you guys calling in from? Sally Meadows, I know is in Australia. What's up, Joey Ty? Eileen Fry, Matt Sims. Pimping out my wife hustle. All right, Matt, you go for that, man. Libby Warren working. Wow, 13-hour days, Libby. Wow, keep it up. And thank you, Trisha. All right, New Hampshire's in the house. Catherine Cannell's in the Bay Area. Boy, it's expensive to live in the Bay Area. What's up? Jennifer in Arizona. Reading, Pennsylvania. Christina Skaggs watching from Texas. Yeah, who wants to learn to make some money? Who's worried about your money? Put in #1. Put a 1 in the comment section. Put a 1 in the comment section if you're worried about your money right now. New Jersey's in the house. Vancouver's in the house. Hold on, I gotta get my condo. Warsaw, Poland, 2 a.m. watching us, man. What is up with that? That is awesome. Sandy, British Canada. Christina Skaggs is a 1. Deidre's a 1. You worried about your money? Everybody's worried about their money. Look at this, Chris. People are worried about their money. Right. Possible furlough. Oh, Arminda. Sarah Jane. What's a 2? Sarah Jane, I haven't said a 2 yet. Lisa. Emily. Valerie. There you go. Pauline. Ditching the grind. Watching me. I saw your name the other day, Ditching the Grind. What do you do? Tell us about what you do. Melissa Patterson. Tina Franklin. Everybody's nervous, man. Lisa is chilling in Anchorage. Chilling because it is fucking cold. That's what it is. All right. What's up, Alan Craig? That's cool. All right. We're 5 minutes into it. Let me introduce. Let's get started. Let's just do this. You know, coronavirus numbers are bad. LA has over 10,500 cases. LA is going to surpass 11,000 cases tomorrow. The United States is, you know, we're averaging 210,000 deaths a day. We've surpassed 300,000 deaths. We're close to 310,000 deaths. And here's the fucking problem. Here's the problem. We're getting used to it. We're getting used to it. The other day, you know, Like Sundays, the numbers are a little bit lower, and it was like 180,000 cases. And I was like, oh my God, we turned the corner. And then I realized, like, what am I talking about? That's stupid. Like, I'm okay with 180,000 cases. Like, that's so silly. We should not be okay with that. We really need to get together. And the other thing that's really concerning is this freaking stock market. I'm gonna ask Chris about the stock market. Now, comment if you agree with me. The stock market seems to be very disconnected with Main Street. Wall Street is very disconnected with Main Street. I don't know. The stock market doesn't seem to be representative of what's happening in my 401k, my retirement. Comment if that's you. Like, what's going on here? This is kind of weird. And we all know it's kind of like, it's not my economic situation. You know, I'm working harder. I'm making a little less. I don't know what's going on. Peter King says it's disconnected. Sleuth says it's disconnected. Renee says I'm speaking to the truth. Ricardo's the truth. See, this is trouble. Hey, and I'll ask Chris later. When the average person, Mike Perry, when the average person, not that y'all are average, you guys are my viewers, so you're above average. But when everyday common people start to realize that there's something fishy going on Wall Street, that means things are bad. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Larry Berger, it's disconnected. Like, there's no way we should be setting record numbers when nobody's been working, when there's nothing driving the economy, right? With that, let me bring on America's #1 money mentor, author of 3 books, I think. He had a show on HGTV called Risky Flippers. I think that's what it's called. Risky Builders. Risky Builders. Sorry, bro. And America's #1 money mentor, Mr. Chris Nago.
Oh, excited to be back. Excited to be back on here. And boy, some unbelievable topics that you just brought up there.
Yeah,
and some scary ones.
I totally forgot to say you were like a former pro snowboarder and just a all around cool dude, and got all the initials after your names. You worked on Wall Street, right? So tell us. Yeah, you worked in one of the big financial houses for 8 years. You were one of the top earners.
16 years.
16? You don't look that old to be.
43. I started in my early 20s.
Damn. All right. This looks like water, but it's really vodka.
This looks like tea, and it's really tea.
I'm kidding. This is really water. I'm kidding. It's really vodka. What's happening with the stock market, man? Explain.
Well, you nailed it. It's completely 100% disconnected from Main Street. I mean, look around. My gosh, my good friend who owned a beautiful gym here is now closing his doors forever. His restaurant that he owns is struggling. Main Street's struggling. Like, I know countless businesses hanging on by a thread, like literally waiting for this new PPP loan that they just approved this morning. But how long is that going to take? And is that PPP loan actually going to make it in the hands of the right people?
Oh, don't even get me started.
Unlike before, where the Fortune 500
bill didn't go to the small business owners for the most part, did it?
No, it did not. And it was very difficult for the small business owners to get it. I'll never forget it. When they came out with it, we were all rushing. I'll never forget. It was 11:45 at night. I was panicking. I'm in front of my computer at home, waiting for the bank to open up the PPP application because they could only accept so many. And I finally put it in. It took me 3 hours because it kept disconnecting me. And I got it in. And little did I know that all the big Fortune 500 companies, the big publicly traded Wall Street companies, their applications were put in days before because the banks moved their stuff ahead. How is that fair? But let's take that to Wall Street. Take that same mentality and look at Wall Street today. It's rallying. It's at the highest point it's ever been at, ever, folks, ever. Except for, like Duck said, your 401k doesn't quite reflect what you're seeing on the news. It just doesn't seem like your numbers match their numbers. Could there be something to that? Well, let me tell you what it is. It isn't real. The stock market is completely misrepresented in terms of what's actually going on out there because of what I call FANG, right? And you can look this up. It's FAANG. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Those big, ginormous tech companies make up a giant portion of the indexes. What are the indexes? Dow Jones, S&P 500, the NASDAQ. They're just the general indexes. So if those companies make up a huge portion, I mean, Apple's a $2 trillion capitalization. They make up that much.
I was saying this the other day, like it took the stock market has been around since the 1800s, right? As I recall, and it took 120 years for Apple to become the first $1 trillion company, and it took another year to become the second, like a $2 trillion company. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but it is real. And a lot of people don't realize how much money that really is. Well, folks, if you really did the math, that's larger than most European banks combined. Okay. Apple itself, one company, is bigger than several European banks combined. Probably bigger than it's giant. And it makes up most of the market. So when you look at the stock market, you're like, well, how can it be that high? That's how. You're not looking at something that benefits you and I. You're not looking at something that helps Main Street. Okay. Yeah. Sure. We all have the phones, but we're just feeding into it. We've been trained so well to basically buy into this manipulation, this speculation, whatever you want to call it, that literally it's got people blind because we are inherent gamblers. Like I talk to people all the time and I tell them, get out of the market. They're like, oh, the market's still going up. My advisor said that would be this. Just the other day, one of your people said to me, my advisor said to me that would be the stupidest thing I could ever do. And I laughed. I said, really? So your advisor literally is telling you that your decision, because you're scared of where the market is and you're fearful that the market's going to go down, that your decision makes you stupid.
And your decision to sell at the record high and the record profits.
But think about that, right? As an advisor, when I was an advisor, my job was to look after and really understand my clients' needs and goals. They called it suitability. It's a whole thing. But if suitability is what the advisor is supposed to do, shouldn't the advisor listen to what the goals, needs, and desires of their clients are? Yeah. If it did, why the hell would an advisor ever say, that's the stupidest thing I'd ever heard of? I'll tell you.
Don't make any money.
Bingo. I wish I had a bell. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. The advisor doesn't make any money if your money's not invested in Wall Street. That's not how it works. They need to sell you products. They need to charge you fees. I'm sorry if any of you are advisors, but I spent 16 years there. If you think for 1 second that I don't know how that game works, I do. And for 16 years, I wore rosy colored glasses, and I did not always follow the needs of my clients. I followed the needs of the company that told me what to say it, how to do it. And you know who it benefited? The company and my paycheck. And that's not how it works anymore, folks. So what you're seeing right now is what I call the bull trap. It's a trap.
In 30 seconds, because I want us to look back on this and be like, we are so fucking smart. So tell us, what are some of the things that financial advisors will be saying when the market starts to drop?
You got to stay in the market for the long haul. That's how you make money. It's just a paper loss. Did that take 30 seconds?
No, that only took 10 seconds. Yeah, you're stupid to sell right now. It's the Titanic is sinking, and they're telling you, oh, don't sell. You guys stay. So they changed their tune, right? It's like you got to stay in for the long haul. You got to.
So you're stupid to sell at the highest point. That's the stupidest thing you could ever do. Stupidest thing to sell at the highest point. But yet when the market's going down, you're stupid for selling when the market's going down too. It's like, okay, when do I get off the ride? Because I'm sick of going around the roller coaster. Is there an exit? No, you have to stay on it.
But if you said, hey, what's wrong with me selling at the high? And then when the market drops, I'll call you back up and I'll buy back in when it's lower, when the craziness stops. What's wrong with that, advisor? And what does the advisor say?
I don't know, Doc. Doesn't that just make perfect, logical sense? Sell right now at the highest point. Wait, you don't even need to be a Wall Street person. You can just watch the news. When the whole thing falls apart and you're watching all your neighbors and your coworkers saying how much money they're losing, you're like, wow,
I sold.
Warren Buffett said, when others are greedy, be fearful. I was fearful, so I sold. And when others are fearful, be greedy. Oh my gosh, time to buy. Bingo.
That's right.
Sorry, I get so fired up on this because it's just logic. It just logically makes sense.
Hey, real quick, I want to talk about this free training you have tomorrow and the opportunity to win the Echo Show, which is the little screen display thing that you can do video and stuff on. And then I want to get to your training because we're already 10 minutes into this thing, man.
There it is. So we literally have this on its way, and we're going to give one of these away, and it's only for your show, Doc. This isn't for everybody that registers. We actually have a special link for the registration. Here's the best part, folks. This event tomorrow, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So some of you are like, oh, I can't make it. Stop, calm yourself. Yeah. If you can't make it and you register, you're still in the running for this. Okay. And if you can't make it and you register, we will email you the recording. But if you don't register, nothing for you. You don't get anything.
Registration is real long and difficult.
Probably takes 5 seconds.
Email, right?
All I need is your name and your email.
Everybody watching right now, if you want to win that Echo, your name will be, and you don't have to show up. Just go to drvmoney.com. It doesn't cost you anything. Just give the man your email. That's it. And he'll put your name in the drawing for that Echo show right behind you. That's it, right?
That's it. And Shauna has it all tracked.
Learn something. It's free training. We're not here to sell you anything tonight. No. That's all we're asking for you to do is just drop your email. It's literally your name and your email. And at drvmoney.com, just type that in, and we'll get you in that drawing. So what's your lesson going to be about tomorrow?
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's a totally free event. There's nothing being told tomorrow. Okay. All this event is, we call it the Willy Wonka of money. It's a golden ticket event. What we're doing is we spend $5,000 every month creating case study videos of students and clients of ours that we've helped. This is one of the most amazing case studies we've ever done. His name's Devin Burr. He was bankrupt, and but he changed one thing in his life. And by doing that, he tripled his income. He literally tells the story of how he was bankrupt and how he changed where his money went and what he's doing. And he's going to show you an example of how he made money 5 times doing one real estate deal. Not because he's genius, but because he learned something that you all need to know. And not only is it just a hilarious video to watch, we're going to have so much fun, but you're just going to watch this video. You're going to be the only ones to see this. You can't go to YouTube and watch this video. It's not on YouTube. This is a private showing, like a Netflix episode. When it first comes out, you got to be there to see it. You can't go see it anywhere else. This is like that. And all it is, and the cool thing is Devin's going to be on it with us. Devin is the guy who did this. So after we watch this video, which the runtime's about 40 minutes, Devin's there and he's just going to answer questions to all of you. I'll answer questions too.
Devin will be there. In case people don't know, a case study is an actual person that they went through this. So this is a real example. Now, We've got about 100 people watching on Facebook. We've got another couple hundred on YouTube. So really, and you know how people are, only half of them will take action.
Sure.
So maybe 1 in 100, 1 in 150 chance of winning that Echo show right behind you, just for giving Chris your email, man. Just do it. Just do it. What do you know?
The scariest thing too is, a bunch of people will probably register because they want this free thing. Just like, remember that 3-day event that I went to in 2014 when I lost?
Yeah. Tell the story.
So in 2014, you guys can listen to my stuff on YouTube, but I went through one of the hardest periods of my life. I had 36 apartment units and I lost them all in one instance. Had to sell all 36 units, had to sell my dream house that me and my fiance bought. And I was literally at the lowest point in my life. And I remember I got this postcard in the mail, and this postcard said, come to this 3-day seminar for free to learn how to flip houses. Now, that was not what I wanted to do at that present point. I just lost everything because of real estate. And I didn't want to go learn how to flip houses. But you know what it said right at the bottom? Come and we will give you a free iPod shuffle. Now, some of you probably don't even remember those. Those were those little things that it was like this tiny little thing. You loaded some songs in it and you'd use it for running. God, I'm getting old. I went because of that little iPod shuffle. And I didn't even care about the event because it was free. I didn't put any value on it because it was a free event. I'm like, I'll just go, just give me my free thing. But they made me sit through the whole 3-day thing to get that iPod shuffle. The second day I met 2 people, Greg Hurling and Mike Baird. Any of you that are part of MSTV, you'll see Greg Hurling on Thursday. He's going to be at the coaching session. And all of you have the ability to take part in that. But he was the one person, him and Mike, changed my life forever. Because I learned from them the one change I needed to make in my life that no one would ever teach me because no one could financially benefit. That's what I learned there.
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Yeah.
How to take control of your money.
100%.
Woo! See?
How to be 100% in control of your money.
I've been paying attention, brother. Yeah. I've been paying attention. Let's get into your lesson. What do you want to talk about tonight? What are you going to teach us?
I got a ton of stuff, but one of the things I think that's important is right now, things are tough out there. I'm hearing it every day, talking to, your folks, talking to all the people that we speak to. We speak to hundreds of people, and you know what? Things are getting wild.
Hey, read that comment really good.
I'm hoping to get knowledge, not a gift. I love that. I wish more people thought like that, because most people think, oh, I just want the free gift and I don't want the knowledge. The knowledge will buy you 1,000 of these. Okay. This is just whatever these cost, $150 or whatever they're at, that's $150. The knowledge you're going to learn from this case study could buy 1,000 of those. And then you know what you do? You keep one for yourself and you give away 999 of them, because the greatest gift you can ever learn is the gift of giving. If you help enough people get what they want, you will get exactly what you want. Zig Ziglar, if you don't know that. So tonight's lesson, I think, is really let's talk a little bit about how do we help people put themselves in a better situation. Now, we've already done a training where we told people how to protect their 401ks. And we just talked about it again. Get out today, right? If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay fees. You just transfer out. We already covered that. So that would be cliche to do that. But that's, listen, folks, I did a Facebook Live this morning, and I talked about if you were in your car driving through the Midwest, okay, where there's like barely anything, you're driving and your car starts, your gas light goes on. Okay. And you see a sign that says next exit 2 miles ahead. And then you go and you're a mile away, and the sign says next exit 1 mile ahead. And then underneath it says the next exit after that is 150 miles. So you don't want to stop because you're tired. You want to just keep pushing on, but your car's out of fuel. If you don't get off and get gas, you're going to run out of fuel in the middle of nowhere. And a lot of things can happen. You're in uncharted territory because you didn't plan and do the right things. That exit that I'm talking about on that throughway in the Midwest, if any of you have ever driven through the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. That exit is right now, because if you miss this exit to get out of the market, I don't know where the next one is, folks. I really don't. And you're going to be really sad, because you're going to come back later and you're going to say, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. Don't be a I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda, because you could just do it now. So that's what we already covered. But let's really kind of talk about what would change people's financial futures. What would help people right now? Well, money, monthly paychecks. So let's talk about an opportunity that was brought to me back a while ago that I've been sharing with my audience, but I've never talked to your audience about it. And it was unique. It was an opportunity that came to me that I understood fully. It was a guy by the name of Jerry. Jerry runs a merchant company that does merchant services for all the big infomercials. And I don't know about you, Duck, but when you turn the TV on, I don't care if it's the news, how many infomercials do we see? My Pillow and all these other ones, right? There are more infomercials on TV now than ever in my lifetime, because people are captive in watching TV. Right. So these infomercial companies have a lot of problems, because when they sell their products online and they run their merchant services, a lot of people refund. And if you get enough refunds, Duck knows about this, they shut your merchant services down, don't they? Isn't that what they do? And what happens then? You just close your business? No, you pivot and you find a way. Jerry helps these infomercial companies find that other way when they get their merchant services shut down. But it presents a very interesting opportunity for people. So he finds people, and you have to qualify for it. 620 credit score, never filed bankruptcy, you don't have a merchant account in your name. And if you qualify, what you do is he helps you, or the merchant companies, the advertisers pay to set up a company in your name. Okay, they set up an LLC, and then what you do is you create merchant services in this LLC, and then they run their business through this. Now, this is a huge trust thing for them, because they're creating an LLC for you. All the risk is on them. There's no risk on you whatsoever, and they're going to run all this money through this bank account that they set up in your company's name. I mean, if you were a real scumbag, could you just close the account and run? Yeah, I'm sure they'd find you, but there's a lot of trust they're putting in you, which is why you got to. So, and I've helped right now to date. When he first called me, he said, Chris, we've got a crazy amount of these infomercial companies, and I need 180 people. That's what he said to me. He said, 180 people that if we help them do this, we'll pay them $750 a month. And I said, dude, what you'll give them $750 a month? What's the cost? What is it? He said, no cost to them, no risk, just time. So wealthy people, and you know this, Doug, Greg Reed said this all the time, wealthy people do two things really well. They invest their time or they invest their money. Well, Jerry said, all I need is people that will invest 6 hours of their time. He said 6 hours a month, 6 hours a week. He said, no, 6 hours one time. I need them to work with the merchants or work with the marketer to set up an LLC. I need them to go to their bank, and they have select banks, and open up a bank account. And that's about it. And I heard this, and I am first thing I did is I said, just like people say about infinite banking, right?
I was like, yeah.
So here's what I do. I'm
team. What's going on? What are you telling me?
Well, you know this because this happened to you. So you would have used this if you knew how to do this. But you know, I got nervous and I said, all right, if I'm going to have you on my show, I gotta know who is this Jerry guy. So I spent $600 on my attorneys, and I called my corporate attorney. I said, I want you to find all the dirt on this guy. I want you to get me the rap sheet on this guy. There's something not right here. They pulled it all. And you know what I found out? I found out that this Jerry guy, okay, likes to drive fast. He's got lots of speeding tickets. I also found out that this Jerry guy is not such a good real estate investor because he went bankrupt after the 2008 after the 2008 Great Recession, and he lost some real estate. He had to foreclose on some real estate. And then I'm like, all right, well, find me more. And they're
like me.
So Jerry's just like Duck. Okay, he speeds a lot. Okay, he went bankrupt in right after 2008, lost a bunch of real estate, had some taxes that he owed and couldn't pay, had to do some settlements. I got the whole rap sheet on this guy. And at the end of it, my attorney said, well, I mean, if that's what he's doing, I don't see any red flags at all. And I said, so you're just telling me that this guy just likes to drive fast? So I questioned Jerry on these things. I said, okay, you got a bankruptcy. Tell me about that. Oh, got caught up in the 08 real estate thing. I said, do you like to drive fast? He said, no, I just happen to always push the accelerator down too hard in front of cops. Great answer. And they had to and I even went into Ripoff Report, and I found one negative thing against his company. And it was this whole thing. And I'm like, oh, I got you now, Jerry. And then sure enough, he says, did you scroll down? I said, no. He said, just one swipe on the mouse. Right underneath that was the lady who put the Ripoff Report in there, rescinding, saying she wishes she could take it off. It was her mistake. And I'm like, son of a pop. So here's the deal, folks. There's no catch to this. You have to make your own decision. You have to do your own due diligence, but it's $150.
Root Vine, I'm out. This is a pitch. Is this a
pitch?
That's
fine. No, hey, listen, if you don't feel good about it in your belly, don't do it. I have nothing to gain from this. I don't care whether you do this or not. I get paid nothing. But I want to come on here, and there's a big problem. People need income. If they need $750, this is an opportunity. Folks, this isn't what we're talking about tomorrow. This isn't what I'm talking about tonight. I just figured, what the heck? If I know of somebody that will pay your folks $750 a month just for basically creating a company that they don't have to pay for, you don't pay anything out of your pocket, and setting up merchant services for people like Duck who get their merchant services shut down because of refunds, then this is a great opportunity for some. Not all. The person that said this is a pitch or something, I don't know what I'm pitching. If you don't want $750 a month, good. Go somewhere else. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, literally, I wasn't even going to talk about this. But
what's the deal exactly? What are you doing for them?
You're setting up merchant services in this LLC that they create for you, and for that they give you $750 a month. So how much? I can't do this because I have merchant services, so I don't qualify. But who does qualify is every one of my employees here. Okay, Shauna, Andrew, Gabby, Tyler, Sodi, all of them are doing this. One of my best friends, Rick County, okay, just texted me today, and he says, I got my first $750 check. That's awesome. So, listen, folks, this isn't some pitch. I don't really know what I'm pitching. I'm just telling you what it is. I don't even do anything. So if you want the $750, you're not going to call me. I'll send you a 22-minute video that Jerry sent me.
So Joe Schmo or neighbor Nancy, stay-at-home mom, Valerie, I got Catherine, Valerie, Beverly White, Laurie's watching, Valerie, right? Yeah. So just normal, everyday people. If you don't have a business or a merchant account, you watch this video, you meet with Jerry's team. They say 6 hours.
You just meet with Jerry.
You meet with Jerry, who says, I need you to do this thing. He sets up all the paperwork. You open an account. and you act like the merchant service for.
You are the merchant services for them. They run their business from the infomercial. Like a big one is keto that he does a lot with. Okay, so they sell keto products. They run the merchant services through your LLC that was set up for you. You didn't have to pay for this. It took you 6 hours to kind of do all this work, and they run all the merchant services through that. So that's their money. It's not your money. You just set up the account for it, the LLC for it. Now, if you know anything about an LLC, there's zero liability to you. And he puts it in a contract that there is zero liability, zero cost. Like, how can it be a pitch if it costs you nothing and they put $750 a month in your account? Like, where is that a pitch? So but that's the perfect thing, and you've heard me say this, Duck. The biggest problem in America, this is Will Rogers. And I gotta say,
I gotta address this. Pauline says, why does it sound like we're money laundering?
You're not money. It does sound like that, doesn't it? But you're not money laundering. It's a legitimate LLC, a legitimate bank account. Money laundering involves like laundering money from like a drug cartel. Last time I checked, person that sells keto, they're not laundering money.
Dan Wynn on, who is a money merchant, like master.
Yeah, Dan knows all about how this works. So these are giant infomercial companies that basically, need merchant services. That's what Dan does. So exactly, call Dan if you want to know about merchant services. That's how this works. So this isn't a merchant service pitch. This isn't anything like that. This is just a guy who needs people that want to make $750 a month. And what you do is you basically help create the merchant accounts for whatever infomercial it is. I mean, listen, I don't work for this guy. I'm not affiliated with this guy, but I just figured I'd bring it up. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have said I make 750.
We're getting some ugly comments.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
I feel like I'm getting beat up for showing.
True.
That's crazy. I feel like I get beat up for showing people the.
I know.
$50. So you know what, folks? Forget about it.
No.
Forget about it. Like, you don't need $750 a month. Like, but Will Rogers said, the biggest problem in America is not what people don't know. It's what they think they know that just ain't so. And, anyone that's making comments, you think you know what you don't know. Is it money laundering? I don't know. Why don't you find out for yourself if it's worth $750 a month? Like, if you need $750 a month, like, it's just an option. I'm already regretting bringing it up. I really am. And I think that's a shame
for my audience.
Well, no, I just think it's a shame because we talked earlier today, and we're not talking about it anymore. These are like hard times for people. And Matt, Mark was just on, Mark Perry, he talked to Jerry and he's seen Jerry like several times, but it's just like, I shouldn't get beat up for showing people how to make $750 a month without having to go to work.
I like Lisa's comment. Why does this Jerry guy need people's bank accounts?
All right, forget it. Nobody's getting $750.
And honestly, like I'm
done. Like that's
we didn't talk about this ahead of time, Chris. You're like, I'm going to show your people how to make $750.
I'm not showing them how to make $750. I'm just giving them an opportunity. I just thought it would be helpful. So, all right, forget about it. Let's get back to the stock market and infinite banking, because that's the best way you guys can do it. Change one thing, change where your money goes first, and I'll show you how to erase that. But we've covered all that. I should have never brought it up.
I think Lynn's right, though. He said, they're legitimate concerns.
They are, but I don't have the answer.
We got somebody. Joanne says, this is legit. I'm in the middle of setting mine up now.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Joanne. I mean, and Joanne knows, like, it's not mine. I don't do anything with it. I don't even know. I just brought it up because I thought, what the heck? These are tough times. People could use $750 a month. So
that was actually the conversation we had, guys. It was just basically like we need to give people something that really is really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about all the unbelievable things that we teach and things you'll learn tomorrow, but none of the things I teach you just put extra money in your pocket for not doing much of anything, and that's the biggest difference. And that's why I thought I'd bring that up. And again, hey, small lesson learned. Big mistake to bring that up, but
and just to be clear, the Echo show behind your head and the training tomorrow has nothing to do with Jerry.
No,
it has nothing to do with Jerry and 750.
Well, earlier, me and Duck were talking, and we're like, what should we talk about? And, there's a lot of things I could talk about. Money is an easy topic, but we talked about how tough it's getting for people right now. And I'm thinking, all right, well, I know this guy needs more people and is willing to pay him $750. Like, that is a great thing, a great gift that I can give. Remember, if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. I just thought helping people put $750 a month in their pocket would be a good conversation, but clearly I thought wrong.
That's okay. That's a good question though. But how long is it $750 a month for? Is it $750?
I don't know. It's different depending on the depending on the marketer. You know, if it's keto, maybe they run for 6 months. If it's I don't know, some workout gym, maybe it runs for 12 months. I don't really know. Again, all the specific questions, like if you guys want Jerry's info or the 22-minute video, I can just give that to you. But I just kind of regret even doing that at this point.
We need to plan this out better next time.
Well, I mean, I just thought, hey, $750 a month is a nice gift.
And now people are changing the tunes. They're like, how do we find Jerry? We want Jerry.
Well, now nobody's going to know because I'm not giving his number out. So let's get into something else. So we talked about the markets. The markets are a scary thing. We're entering 2021. This morning there was a bunch of pivotal news that just hit the news. And this morning, we've got a new stimulus coming out, which means unemployment checks of $300 are going to continue going out. That's unbelievable news because a lot of people
actually hear this. I didn't hear that there was. Did they come to that $908 billion agreement?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they settled. I saw it this morning. I don't know if it's still on there. I'm not going to look, but it was this morning, which is why I did that Facebook Live.
Really?
And another round of PPP loans. They didn't give the specifics. This is like breaking news this morning that I saw on the drive to work. Because what I do every morning is I do a market update. So people on my Facebook group, I'll do a market update live where I just talk about, hey, here's what's going on. Here's the things to be aware of. And these are some of the decisions that, or some of the things that will help you make decisions today. And the stimulus program, they're printing more money. The government is literally printing and creating more debt than they bring in, period. I think it's like double what they're doing. But, you have to. If you're going to shut the country down and you're going to tell businesses they can't open, you're going to tell, Joe's Crab Shack that they can't open their door. Well, damn it, then give them a PPP loan, help them pay their employees, help them keep their people employed, because that hasn't been the case. It happened once, but then they shut it down again. I live in New York. Many of you are in California. It's not fun. If you live in Florida, it's kind of like nothing really happened. But, here in New York and California, it's rough. So that's big news. And that's big news for Wall Street because it makes the market spike. But the market actually didn't finish up that good, which was surprising. The other news that came out is obviously you all know that Pfizer got their FDA approval for the COVID and it's going out to all the front lines. Now we talked about that's huge news. And that's amazing. Like this warp speed thing. I think that's what they called it. I don't get into politics, but
all right, hold on. I got to stop you. Sean says that's baiting the fish. Now they want to know how to get that 22 minutes.
No, because too many people were being negative about it.
No. We had more people say, no, tell me the video. So let's just give. So how do they?
Then just text Jerry and he'll send you the video. I'm not gonna waste my time on it. I'm really not. Here, I'll give you
a phone number.
Yeah, but don't call him. Just text him. So write this down: 561.
Oh God.
644-3743. It's Jerry's number right there. Send him a text and tell him to send you the video. There you go. 561-644-3743. That pissed me off. Some of those comments upset me because I literally was excited to show people that, and that's not reverse psychology, guys. Think of that. You have this great information that you can share with people. A way to help people, and you tell them, and you get beat up for it. That's not the way I operate.
No, man.
But that's his number. Text him. Tell him you want the video. But
this is going to be the worst show I've ever done.
I know this is not how I envisioned this going. But the most important thing is tomorrow, this event that's going on tomorrow is going to be epic. It'll redeem me for today. You guys ever remember the Dumb and Dumber thing? He's on the scooter and he's God, what did he say? I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to recite it because I feel like I'm living that world right now. But do you know what I'm talking about? That statement that he made?
I've never actually seen that one.
You've never seen Dumb and Dumber?
No.
All right. Well, now I have to read it. I got it right here because I just thought it was hilarious. So
hard times.
All right. So it says this right here. Just when you thought you couldn't be any dumber, you go and do something like this. This is how I feel. And you totally redeem yourself. Tomorrow, I'm going to totally redeem myself. So I wish I could share my screen. It's
they all want the number one more time, bud. Redeem yourself. Give them the number one more time. This is the last time. So
this is it.
Write it down.
So Jerry, his number to text is 561-644-3743. Just text him and just say, send me the 22-minute video. I don't know.
Oh, that's going to be so funny. Jerry's going to get all these random texts.
That's all right.
We didn't plan on this, guys.
I did not plan on this. I literally just wanted to tell you that there's a way to make $750 a month. I didn't expect it to go down this path. So I'll expect a call from Jerry saying, what did you just do? My phone is lighting up.
Blame it on Dr. V. It is trying.
And here I was so excited about this. I got this thing that we just ordered to give away for free. I was inspired by your show last night, and like so much good information that we can give people. I guess sometimes you just make bad decisions, like that thing said. But you know what? You can redeem yourself, and hey, maybe it does help one or two people, maybe not. We'll see. All right. So anyway, going back into the news, the COVID news. So that frontline workers. Now, I don't know how many of you, what your opinions are. I know me and you talked about it, but, like here in New York, I'm in Buffalo, New York. COVID's very real here. My mother-in-law runs a nursing home, a big one, and they had a big outbreak, and a lot of the people there died. I think she's lost 8 different people. And that's terribly sad. I've lost 2 personal friends to this terrible disease. So it's very real to me. And, I said a prayer this morning that they got this vaccine done. Whether or not you believe in it or would take it or not, I wouldn't take it because I think I'd be okay if I got COVID. But for the elderly, okay, the grandmas, the seniors, the people that have, some type of a condition, like my 2 friends, that had respiratory issues. Like, this is the difference between life and death. This is the difference between spending Christmas with your family and not spending Christmas. I mean, this is a beautiful thing, and it's something we should all remember and see how important this is, and really look at it and say, okay, well, that's a step in the right direction. Does it mean it's all over? No, COVID's still here. But going into 2021, that's just one small positive piece of news, right? Second piece of news, maybe PPP loans go out to businesses that need it. Maybe some people that are on unemployment have another windfall of $300, paychecks coming in before they can get a job. But we will emerge from this, folks. We'll be triumphant again. We'll come out of this. And, here's the beauty in the way I look at this. You can look at the glass half empty or half full. I tend to like to think that my glass is always half full. And in doing that, I look at next year. Now, 2020 has been a terrible year for a lot of people. It's been a rough year. We've all had to pivot our lives, change our lives, but we've all learned from this. We've learned some things. And now that many of us are quarantined, not really going out. I haven't gone out to dinner. I went out once. Okay, one time this entire year to dinner. I miss those things. So when we do emerge, when we finally can kind of go out and we have some sense of getting our lives back, just think of what will it be like to go out and hang out with your friends at a restaurant again, where you don't need to do all this? What will that feel like then? What will it feel like to just go out and do the things that we took for granted before? And now that thing
I actually started showering and shaving again so I can hug people.
Yeah, I mean, folks, you guys can't see it, but I got a straight up mullet going on here because I seriously can't get a haircut. They just opened hair salons up, and I've been texting my girl to get a haircut. I can't even get her to call me back. And my wife said that she's so busy, she's out 6 weeks. I'm like, what is this going to look like in 6 weeks? We got a running joke here in the office. What is that thing called? Floby, or what was that? Floby? We're going to do a funny video with a Floby on this mullet here. But I mean, I'm just trying to let everybody know that, these are hard times. If you make the decisions you need to make today, you're going to really get ahead, because
let's talk about this training tomorrow, because the one thing that this case study did to change his life was to take control of his money. Is it
100%? Yep. So all he did, it's infinite banking. You've heard me talk about this before. Yeah. He changed that one thing, and that was where his money went first. And but a lot of people, when I talk about infinite banking, if they haven't really dove in, which I know I spent some time with Dan and Kim, and we kind of really dove in. Infinite banking, a lot of people think it's about this specially designed and engineered whole life, but it's really not. That's just the machine that moves the money. That's all that does. Infinite banking is about taking back control of your money, taking back the banking functions that we have been taught to give up to somebody else, and taking that back in our lives. That's what it is. And tomorrow, what you're going to see is the impact, the true impact for somebody that was bankrupt to where he's at today. And it's only going to get better for him. And how, when he made that change, not only did he have clarity in his life, but he saw the future because he saw what he was missing. And maybe that's the case for many of your followers.
Are you able to share, or do you know, like, what's his current financial status and how long did it take him? Is he doing like?
He'll get into that tomorrow.
Is it like 10,000 a month? Is it a?
Well,
like,
so he's a real estate investor. So he had some money between him and his wife. They had, a chunk of money that they put into the plan. So they did a big deposit into it, very much like what you're doing. But that was money that they got by selling houses, right? They sold their house and they got themselves in a better place. But, he got where he's at by making sacrifices. He had to give something up to get where he's at. And then he had this money sitting in a bank where they were paying him, I think it's 0.007 or something he was making. And he changed and put his money over in this mutually owned insurance company that paid him 4% plus dividend. But he immediately, and his story is cool because he was like everybody else. When he first saw it, he said, "This looks too good to be true," just like so many other people said. And he's like, "I don't know." He wanted to do it because he's like, if this works this way, this will change things. So here's what he did. He set up a small policy on his daughter, Haley, and he put $6,000 into this policy. And he's like, all right, they said that when I put this money in, I can immediately take this money back out. So he made the deposit. The very next day, now I don't want anyone to think that this is normal because it wasn't, but the very next day he went into the policy and he took that money out and he lent that money out to one of his friends to buy a piece of real estate. But all that little transaction did is it told him that everything that he heard me teaching was exactly how it works. Him and his wife started the big policy. They immediately, it took a little longer than one day. It took like 3 days. They immediately took the money out. They put it into a real estate deal. And the coolest part about this, I don't want to give it away, but actually, you know what? Can I just play a little video? Can I share my screen and play a little video? Let's just do that.
Glenn Wassmer says he's already texted Jerry and Jerry texted back.
Yeah. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, let's play this video.
Oh, you got to turn on the volume on the video.
Oh, hang on. Turn on the volume. How do I do that?
Probably hit the little volume thing. The microphone.
No, I got the volume on my end, but you can't hear that?
No, I can't hear it.
Son of a pup. Here, I think I know why it's doing that. Let's do this. Stop sharing. So when I share, let's see, I think there's something I have to hit here to get it to share the audio here. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox in the next window. Share audio. That would have helped if I would have just read the damn screen. All right. So now you got it. Sorry, folks. Technology is not my thing. Here we go.
Really excited that you showed us how this works and how you figured out how to make money 5 times. Because heck, you had me at making money once, man. I was good there, making 12%, but we're not making 12. We're making 12 plus. So this is freaking awesome, man. If I had a mic, I would drop it.
Thank you, man. I mean, if I wouldn't have heard that podcast and heard how you explain this, I mean, I'd be in a different situation now. And I can only imagine 10, 15, 20 years from now, looking back and being like, that one thing got me to where I'm at now. I'm forever indebted to you. So I greatly appreciate it. And the cool thing is whenever I have questions and things like that, you're quick to answer on text and call me back and all that stuff. So I really appreciate you.
Oh, man. It's my pleasure, my honor, and my privilege to help you guys do this. And I can't wait to see how you actually take this and keep evolving it to make money more and more ways. Eventually, you're going to start being the teacher, and I'm going to be the student watching how you're using this. So thank you for everything you've done.
True story right there. And that's the beauty is when you show somebody the path, they eventually take that and run with it, and they sometimes become the teacher. And that's kind of even my story, but that just gives you a little, story on what it's going to be. It's epically good. And not only that, it's entertaining to watch. There's some flubs that I make in the thing and the way we spin it, you guys, number one, you'll learn something, but number two, you will laugh your butt off. And then at number three, you're gonna be able to ask him, how did you go from bankrupt to where you're at today? So I don't know what he's worth today. I didn't get into that, but you know, him and his wife are living a good life. Like their daughter's doing well. Like they live in a decent house. So things are definitely different than they were for him. And you know, sometimes somebody doesn't have to have all the fancy cars, the big houses to be successful. Success is measured not by what things you have and how much money you have in the bank, but by what you do for other people and how you live your life. That's really the true meaning of success. And to me, he's a success. He really is. So I think all of you should join that, not only just because I'm giving something away. And I did that because, hey, that's what got me to that 3-day event that changed my life, but also because you really should want to go to learn. Okay. You definitely should want to go to learn. And if you can learn something new, even if it's just one thing you learn, that one thing could be everything in your lives, folks. So that's what I've got for you.
Let's talk about some stuff that's happening in the like current events about the market and real estate market. Is this a good time to sell your house?
I think it's a great time to sell your house. Matter of fact, I've talked to numerous people that have sold their houses and are now living in, you know, a rental, and they feel bad that they sold their house and now they're in a rental. And I say, you know what? You shouldn't feel bad at all. It's probably the smartest thing. And you know what? You're going to look back and you're going to look at this and you're going to say, you know what? Thank God I did that. Because again, just like the stock market, like the real estate market's also at an all-time high. It's so ridiculous. I don't know how many of you have actually tried buying a house lately, but good luck. You can't even get a house. There's people making blind offers on houses they've never seen, $100,000 over ask. Like if that doesn't signify that there's a bubble forming, you know, there's another time in history that was a lot like this. It was called 2007.
Yeah.
Just like this. You remember that?
Yeah.
So now I'm not saying everybody should run and sell their house. If you love your house and you're comfortable in it, stay in your house. But if you're like thinking of selling your house and you're looking for that exit point, when's the best time to sell it? Well, look no further.
It's a good time to sell
now. And a lot of people, when you sell your house, you got a ton of equity that you're going to be able to capture. If you rent a place, sure, it's a monthly payment, but you're already making a monthly payment. Now you got all this money. Now you have opportunity. Everything falls apart. Everything goes down. Okay. Sit back, wait, watch. You're at the top of the mountain, folks. When you're out and you're in cash, you're at the top of the mountain. You're literally looking around and you can pick and choose where you want to go. You hold all the cards and you're in control.
What about the people who say that renting is just throwing away money?
Well, I mean, to each their own, right? Some people will say renting is, you know, every one of us need a place to live. We all need shelter, right? It's an essential for living. So if you're renting a place, are you giving that money to somebody else? You absolutely are. But you know what? You need a place to live. And if you can pocket a couple $100,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 for selling your house today, that may not be there next year when you do want to sell your house, like where is the shame in that? So
Elena has a good point, which is a lot of concerns that Americans have, which is, you know, the rent is as much as what I'm paying for the house. So why should I sell?
Well, that's a great concern. And rent probably is as much as your mortgage payment. Heck, rent might be more than your mortgage payment. So we're not talking about trying to make better on like getting a cheaper rent than what your mortgage payment is. We're just talking about that equity you're sitting on in your house. And we're really not talking to everybody, not saying everybody should sell their house. Just saying if you're thinking about it, now would be a good time to look at it. So we want to make sure that we're not like misconstruing that. So this is just, if you were thinking of selling your house, this would be a great time to sell your house.
But it's also one part of like an overall plan, right? Like you got to have a plan in place. Like like what you were saying, like you sell it, you have this big collection of money. What do you do with it? Yeah. Because if all you did was just put it back into the bank, into savings, and you're getting 0.05%, you're wasting your money. Absolutely, positively. And that's not what you should do. So you don't just sell your house, get all this cash and be like, great, they said sell my house. Now I don't know what to do. You kind of got to plan this thing out, right? So what I'm saying, and if I was drawing behind me, if we're at the top and we think it's going to go down, stock market and possibly real estate in some sectors, not all real estate will go down, just so you know. But if you're here and you sell and it goes down and you could buy 30 cents on the dollar, 40 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar, or maybe you have a 2,000 square foot house and you want a 4,000 square foot house. Now would not be the time to sell your 2,000 square foot house and go look to buy another 4,000 square foot house. You'd way overpay for it. But if you waited and the market came down and all of a sudden you found somebody who lost their job, is in fear of going
bankrupt and losing their house to foreclosure, maybe you can pick their house up, pennies on the dollar, you help them, and now you got yourself a 4,000 square foot house that you wanted.
To be completely transparent, you know, I'm kind of living this life right now. I sold my house a year ago, moved here to Houston. I'm renting. My rent is more than my mortgage payment. I mean, it's a lot. This is a 5,000 square foot house I rented with a pool in the back. I mean, it's a big house, and I'm paying a lot, but I'm sitting on some equity waiting for this market to drop so I can start investing in some real estate.
Yeah. And there's nothing, you know, here's the problem. So many people, they're just not patient. Like, I don't know where in life so many people lost the ability to just sit and be patient. You know, to be persistent and consistent is one thing, but sometimes patience is the virtue. That's all you're doing. Like, think of what you did. You sold your house a year ago. You're way overpaying in rent, but you need a nice house to live. You're used to it.
It's actually underpaid for. I got a huge place for a little bit of money, but it's still more than what I would be paying on if I got a mortgage, which was the viewer's point.
But let's just say next year or a year after that, the whole market does do what we think it's going to do, and it goes down. You can go out there and you can find any house and buy it for a steal. And like, all then you need to do is just wait for the next ride up. And now you're in a really good place. But that's not what we do. We all do the exact opposite. What we do is we sell low and we buy high. We wait for it to all go down and then we sell. And then we wait. Oh, well, it doesn't feel good to buy down here at the bottom. I want to wait till it gets higher. And we wait for it to get higher and higher. And then we buy at the high point. I don't know where we were taught that or where the psychology behind that. I should try to research that and write a book on the psychology of why.
It goes back to what you were saying. The advisors tell you to do the fucking opposite right thing.
Yeah,
like it's the opposite.
And the banks do that too. Like
and
I was talking,
banks and the lenders. And so, for example, right now when the mortgage is high and the interest, I mean the prices are high and the interest rates are low, they're telling people, hey, you have all this equity in your house, get a second loan on it, cash out, and like remodel your kitchen or remodel your bathroom. Like, dude, that's the worst thing you can do.
It is absolutely the worst thing you can do. And you're right. That's exactly what they say. Even they advertise that. You're looking to upgrade your kitchen. You want to upgrade your bathroom. Like, get a home equity line of credit. That's how they advertise it. They don't say, get a home equity line of credit, take your money out of your house and put your money to work to make you more money so you can actually live a better life. No. They want you to keep spending that money.
You know people why that's such a bad idea? Because people would have been like, wait, I thought it was good and to invest in your house and to remodel your kitchen, because kitchens and bathrooms is what sells a house, Chris, don't you know?
Well, so they say on HGTV, which, yeah, hey, you can believe that too. But here's the reason. Your house is a liability. You know, a lot of people think their house is their biggest asset. No, it's not. It's your biggest liability. And it always will be until you learn how to turn your house into an asset. And the only way to do that is to take the money that's sitting in your house and have that money go out and make an income. And that's the only way. So every time you've heard me talk about hidden equity and, you know, having people put their equity to work, I'm not talking about remodeling your kitchen or your bathroom because somebody told you that that's the best way to sell my house. Now, if you're selling your house and your kitchen's outdated, well, maybe you want to update it so you can get top dollar, but you might miss the market if you do that. You'd be better off just listing it right now. Let somebody else deal with the upgrade. Take the cash and make that cash go work for you.
That's a good question from Pamela. What if I want to sell, but I need to remodel before selling? See,
yeah,
I have an answer to that, but I want to hear your answer first.
It's a tough one. So, you know, Pamela, so right now, the real estate market's insane. So you think because you live in your house that it needs to be remodeled to sell it. I think you're wrong. I think if you listed your house, if you cleaned it up, put some elbow grease into cleaning it up, get rid of all the clutter.
Same answer, brother.
Okay, get rid of all the clutter, put your house on the market. I bet you any money, Pamela, you would not even believe the amount of money you'd get. But in your mind, because you live there, you think you have to remodel it because you have this vision of what you think your house should look like before you sell it. Your vision is not reality. Your vision is in your mind.
Yeah, my ex.
Is that exactly what you were going to say?
I totally agree. I advised my ex to do this a year ago, and she didn't do it. And then she just did it this summer, right during the break when they were starting to open up again. So then the real estate agents started to advertise, but she wanted to fix stuff up and do these little things and knickknacks. And I just said, you got to get this house on the market. The market's hot. You got to put it on when the market's hot, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what the pig looks like. like it's going to sell. It's going to go to market. It's time to go to market. Just go. And maybe you're right. You're not going to get as much as if you had remodeled, but you're also not going to waste the time or the money to get that extra price. You'd already be out. You'd be out and done. And you'll make plenty of money because the market's super hot.
And I bet any money, if you did go to remodel your house, Pamela, you're going to deal with real trouble with contractors about getting one. You're going to pay 30% more in building materials now because of COVID. Like windows that used to cost $240 are like $600 at Lowe's right now. Go price them out. It's insane. And you can't even get them. So remodeling it would be an absolute pain in the ass. And you probably spend more.
My neighbor across the street's remodeling, and he's like, oh yeah, we're going to move in right before Christmas. And he's still there every day, and he has a full crew, and he's like, I'm trying to save money, so he's like painting the stuff himself. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I mean, I'm not flipping houses, folks. Like, I guess you could say we're professional house flippers. We've done 263 of them. We had a show on HGTV. I'm not flipping any houses now. Why am I not flipping houses? And why is everybody else flipping houses? Well, talk to those people that are flipping houses. They're not making much money, because it's costing them too much. They're overpaying for it because they're buying high. They're underestimating how much the rehab is. They got contractors coming in, stealing from them or not doing the right job. They're all bitching right now.
They're also used to pre-COVID prices when they're kind of thinking in their head on like how much they could make. They're using pre-COVID labor costs, door costs, paint costs, all that sort of stuff. And then you realize like, whoa, these numbers are high. It's just my viewership understands when I say this, like what has happened to your grocery bill since coronavirus?
A lot.
Hasn't it, Chris?
Tremendous.
You can't get out of the grocery store under $200 anymore, can you?
Not even close. And I remember, like, not long ago, $100 got me like my everything was filled. $200, I got like nothing. I got some yogurt in my fridge. I'm like, what, honey? What did you buy? Well, honey,
I have a bottle of
you
wine.
didn't see the string cheese and the yogurt?
There better be some wine in that.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's funny. Like,
you're a vegan. Everything's expensive when you're a vegan, Chris.
I know. Well, but some people actually think that, the price of groceries went up. Oh, it's going to come back down. This is just because of COVID. It's not because what just happened is the Fed printed a whole bunch of money, and now your dollars buy less. Okay. It's not so much that the price of the goods went up. Your dollars don't buy as much, folks.
Do you remember this summer when like gas went like briefly for a couple of days because of the price of oil tanked? It went down below $2.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's like good times roll. I'm like, dude, no. We've gotten used to gas being $2.50. It just won't go below that. I mean, it is the floor. It just, it set this new standard. It's going to stay that way now. I remember when I was a little kid, like I'm 48. You just turned 43. And I remember back in high school, like you could buy so many clothes. The first time my dad gave me $100 bill to go buy new clothes for the new year, I was like, oh my God, it's so much money. And it came home with all these clothes, and now you can't buy one pair of jeans with $100 anymore.
Things are different, man. I mean, you're 48, I'm 43. Things are so different.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we say that now, and what are things going to look like in 5 years or 10 years from now after they just printed all this money? We're going to enter a period of, I don't know when, it's not going to be anytime soon, but we're going to have massive inflation. And your dollars are going to be worth a heck of a lot less than they're worth today. Yeah.
It's funny. I was watching this podcast last week, and we'll officially start the show now. Forget that first hour. Show starts now. And this guy, they were talking about the economy, and this one interviewer started saying like, oh, and Social Security, I'm not sure it's going to be around. It's bankrupt. And the expert, who was very good, by the way, he said, I'm not worried about Social Security. He says, oh, why not? He says, it's going to be around. You're going to get your $1,000 check every month. The problem is it's not going to buy anything. And I went, it's not going to fucking buy anything. That's the problem.
Wow, that's
everybody on Social Security or fixed income or government, whatever. You're going to keep getting your $1,500 a month. It just won't buy anything. You can't get out of the grocery store for under $200. Like, what are you going to buy? And I was like, oh, there's the fuck. There is the problem.
Fuckity fuck.
That's my shirt. You keep your Social Security. That $1,000 won't buy anything.
You're absolutely correct.
Your $100,000 salary is barely getting you by. Mm-hmm. When did that happen? When did $100,000 salary I can't go on vacation. I can't take any time off. I'm living paycheck to paycheck off 100,000, which is weird because I know there are people watching me right now who are making 20, 25, 30, 40,000 who thinks $100,000 would be like a lifesaver. And then there are $100,000 people going, no, he's fucking right.
Yep, you're absolutely correct. And I'll be the first to say that. It's a very weird period of time in all of our histories, and one that is definitely requiring you to make massive changes and do a pivot. You have to start seeing this. Like, if you're going to bury your head in the sand and say, oh, that's not happening to me, or, oh, that's like if you bury your head and you ignore this, you're never, ever going to come out of this mess. You're not. And I don't mean to say that to be negative, but you can't. It will be almost physically impossible for you. But if you rise up and you see this, you take advantage of this opportunity, because what's happening right now, folks, maybe not right today, but there's opportunities today. But what me and Duck are talking about, we think is going to happen. When that happens, folks, there's going to be so many opportunities. Literally, it's just going to be like a free for all. Like, for those that are ready. The opportunities will be everywhere, just like they were in 08 and 09. But the problem was, for me, in 08 and 09, even though I was buying real estate, I missed out on a lot of opportunities because I lost it all in 08. Yeah. I didn't have a runway to catch up. I literally was scraping and kicking and screaming and using everything I could just to do what I did. Mm-hmm. This one will be different because I knew this was coming. I've been planning for this. All of you are in state. I know. And it's like, me and Doc, we don't do stock, advice or anything like that, but we've been buying this one position. And like, the funniest thing is like, we laugh. Like, we're like, how much did you lose today? Yeah, me too. I lost some today. And we're laughing that we're losing money because sometimes you have to give to get. And this position that we're doing, and I did a training for Doc on this, all it's going to be is literally, it's going to happen. And me and Doc, in about a week, because that should be all it's going to take. In about a week, we're going to get on the phone, or we're going to do one of these, and we're going to be like, dude, I'm up 400%. Really? I'm up 600. I just had a head start over you. And we're going to be laughing about it.
I know, because I caught up. Because when he told me about we can just say it's VXX, right?
Yeah.
And it basically bets on the stock market crashing. So you're buying an ETF that's betting on the stock market dropping. Chris is going to drop. And he goes, you got to buy VXX. And I was like, what's VXX? He goes, it's $19 a share. If the market goes down, you go up. If the market goes up, you go down. I said, I'm in. So
you looked at the chart of what it did in March, right? In a matter of like 2 days.
2 days. It went from like $13 to $60, $70 in like 2 days. So I said, all right. So I started buying in 19, and then it went down to 1850, 18, 17, 17, 1650. And I was like, Chris, I'm like down $3,000.
Yeah. Just today, it took a big drop today. It's down. It's in the 16s today. And I was just looking at it. I'm like, yes.
Buy some more. Buy some more.
I don't even see the red. I just know.
It's so funny because in one day, like the last 2 days, it's gone up like $2, $2.50, and I went from like minus $700, minus $1,000 up to like plus $1,000. I'm like, what? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long for this particular position to switch. But the problem is you have to do what everybody else is unwilling to do. What we're doing, we're literally buying something that we know we're losing money on, and we don't know when we're going to make money. How many people? It will, but how many people do you know can do that mentally, physically? Like, most people just couldn't get themselves to take that plunge. But that's the difference. That's the difference. And you have to do what everybody else is unwilling to do.
We did the full transparency on the VXX, but then full transparency, you and I, we're currently working on my infinite banking plan, what this class is for tomorrow that you're offering, right? Mm-hmm. And I did my health exam. I passed with flying colors.
You did, yeah.
They were like, he's so handsome. How could this be possible?
The nurse is like, sweetie, you don't need to have your blood.
Yes, the big black Nigerian guy, sweetie. It was nothing. He literally just came, took my blood pressure, asked me my height and weight, didn't even weigh me. He goes, my scale is out of batteries. What's your weight?
Interesting.
Yeah, I said I'm 145, and then drew a couple of vials of blood, had me pee in a cup, and that was it. It was very benign.
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. He was in and out. He was masked up, gloves, the whole thing, and so that was good. And now we're waiting. We have the underwriters coming, and then once that's said and done, which should probably be in the next week or so, I'll be able to give you some money, set a policy, and do what this Devin guy is going to talk about tomorrow in your training, which is give myself a loan. So one, I make money back when I pay back my loan. Now
you're making money even when you take the loan because your money never leaves your account. It's still earning 6%.
People, I think I have an aha because I think this is when people go, what's the difference between taking the money out of my 401k or my IRA? So let's say this infinite banking policy, I put in $100,000, right, into the policy. Now, if I wanted to buy an investment property for $100,000, and if I take it out of the infinite banking policy and put it into and I buy the house, my banking policy value doesn't go to zero, right? It's huh?
No, not at all. Because your money never even leaves your account.
You guys understand what I'm saying? It stays at 100,000, but you loan yourself this money, but your banking policy stays at 100,000. And then I've bought this other house asset or whatever it is you're doing. You could buy Bitcoin with it, right? You can buy whatever you want with it.
Anything you want. And you
can buy whatever you want, but hopefully you'll buy some sort of money producing asset. So I hope that's a big aha for people because for me, it took me a while to understand that. The policy doesn't go to zero just because you take out a loan. Chris, I'm going to leave
your money never leaves your account. You're using the insurance company's money. So Doug puts in $100,000. His $100,000 is earning 4% plus dividend, okay, which is 6% in 2021 moving forward. Then he immediately, when I say immediately, like Devin did it in 3 days, Duck might do it in the first 30 days, takes $90,000 out. And he takes that $90,000 and let's just say he puts it into his TD Ameritrade account. I'm just going to make something up here, okay? He buys TD Ameritrade and he dumps all 100,000 in VXX. I would advise him not to do that, but let's just say that's what he did. And he just sits on that $90,000 over here in this account. His 100,000 never left his account, folks. His $100,000 is still in this account earning 6%. So you must be saying, well, then where did this $90,000 come from? It came from the insurance company. The insurance companies have all the money, folks. Don't make no two ways about it. Every skyscraper you see in a big city is owned either by an insurance company or a bank. Usually insurance companies loan the money to the banks to buy them. They have all the capital. They always have. So for them to give you $90,000, all they're doing is they're taking your $100,000 you put and they're saying, all right, we're going to use that 100 as collateral for the 90. You can take that 90 and use it for anything. There's no questionnaires. There's no qualifications. Just take it.
Exactly. I think that's what's been missing when you explain this so fast, Chris. Yeah. Your 100,000, my 100,000 is the collateral for their 90,000 they're loaning out. Aha! Come on, give me some ahas.
That's the collateral. That's why they can do that. They already got your money there. They're just going to use it as collateral, and you get to use it all. But here's the fun part, right? Your money still continues to earn this. And when you take this 90, they call it a loan. But how many of you have ever heard of a loan that doesn't need to be paid back? Well, for those of you that said, nope, never heard of one of those, you just did. The insurance company will never ask Duck for this $90,000 back. They could give two shits if he ever pays them that $90,000 back. Do you know why? Because the insurance company made two promises. Number one, they promised to pay him 4% guaranteed. But why did the insurance company ask him to give blood and pee in a cup? Because they wanted to see if he was healthy. Because the second guarantee they're going to do is they're going to pay out a death benefit someday when Duck graduates. Since he's so healthy and handsome, it's going to be a long freaking time. So when that long time comes, there's going to be a death benefit paid out to his beneficiaries, his kids, his spouse, all that. All the insurance company is going to do, let's just say it's $1 million. They're going to subtract this $90,000 loan that they gave him from the $1 million. That's it. They've already done the accounting for it. So that loan is nothing more than an advance of his death benefit.
So MH has you answered her question. She goes, so what happens if you lose that 90,000 in a bad trade, gambled it, drank it away?
Doesn't matter.
They don't care.
They truly don't. That's the scariest thing. Like people take this loan like, all right, so how much do I have to pay back a month? I don't know, however much you want. Like we help you build that. But the insurance company's not going to ask you for any of that back. The insurance company
cares about Catherine says, I don't have any heirs. Is this perfect for me? You can leave the death benefit to a niece, a nephew, a church, right?
Charity. Like I have a client who has millions of dollars. She has no one to leave the money to. So you know who she's leaving it to? The Ronald McDonald House, the Wounded Warriors Foundation, and I can't remember the other one, but it was for animals. It was a really good. She's leaving it all to them. She didn't do this she didn't do this for the death benefit. She did this for access and control of her money. It just so happened that she gets a death benefit and she has no one to leave it to. So, hey, give it to somebody.
Getting a lot of ahas. And the cool thing is, because your money, my original 100,000 is still in there, it won't it's still earning 4% interest.
Correct. It will never, ever not earn 4% plus the dividend. And then the dividends are not guaranteed. And a lot of people are like, oh, I got it. Dividends aren't guaranteed. Well, the company that Duck's going with, okay, Mass Mutual, they're a 168-year-old mutually owned company. How many years do you think they paid dividends for consecutively? If any of you thought or said 168, you're absolutely correct. There's never been a year, not one, that they didn't pay a dividend. And also, this is a cool thing. We're in pretty hard times right now. We're at the lowest interest rates we've ever been at. Like things are crazy. Dividends right now are at the lowest period in 30 years. Dividends have never been this low. So you guys are looking at this saying 6% is great. Well, you should have saw what that was back in the 80s. That would have been double digits. You should have saw what that was in the 90s, in the early 2000s when I started. It was 8, 9%. This dividend is crap right now, but so is everything else. So it's relative. But this 4% is a guarantee.
So can I tell them what I'm going to do?
Yeah. So let's put it up.
So roughly, Chris and I have kind of done rough numbers. Roughly, I'm going to put probably around 250 to 400 in a policy.
Oh, yeah, that's over here.
Yeah, in the policy. And I'm going to use that 250, 400, and then I'm going to buy real estate with it.
And when are you going to buy that real estate?
Whenever I can take that money out, I'm ready to go.
Well, this money will come out immediately. Immediately. I mean, Devin, when you watch tomorrow's case study, he took it out in 3 days. Hallie, his daughter's policy, took out the next day. So in all my videos, I always say immediately in the first 30 days. I just say that because I don't know how fast your bank's going to clear your funds. It's your bank, not the insurance company. The moment the money hits the insurance company's account, it's yours. Take it. Go in, click a button. It's yours.
When the money hits the insurance policy's accounting, I can withdraw. Or not withdraw. See, that's a
loan.
term.
That's okay. It's okay.
I can loan myself the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you take a withdrawal, you're reducing your amount. Remember, you're not using your money because the insurance company's loaning you their money.
And they don't do a credit check on you. They don't. No, right?
Just today, we've been filming all day for a new case study. This guy named Jason. You'll see his case study soon because we'll do a Willy Wonka of money gold ticket for him.
I want to do one. I want to do one for you.
I'd love it.
The Golden Goose. Hey, I changed my name from Duck to Golden Goose.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so this client that we did this case study with, when he came to us, he was in a rough place. 13 credit cards, paying $3,700 a month to these credit cards. His income he works for a bank. The income he makes at the bank is almost the same amount as his expenses. One hell of a case study. Today, for the first time, we did a case study with him. He changed one thing. What he was doing, he's got one rental. And that rental he has that rental income go into a savings account. We changed where that savings account money goes, and we changed it and put it into a policy. 13 credit cards, plus we bought a Silverado for him, and we did all of that with a very modest, small policy, not a $100,000 policy, a modest policy. We paid off all of his debt in exactly 38 months, and he didn't have to work any harder for this. Then we bought his Silverado, which he said was going to cost $70,000.
I'm going to let you keep dropping, but I think we finally hit our stride, Chris.
Good.
People are finally excited. They're going like, how do I sign up? How do I learn more? So go to rvmoney.com. It's a free training tomorrow at 1. And Chris is going to, if you just go put in your email, you're going to have be registered to win that Echo show right behind you. Yeah. So that's what started this.
I mean, I'm super fired up. I wish I could
get some good stuff.
Yeah, I wish I could reverse and just go back to this because like now I'm just juiced because like what I saw happen with Jason and the look on his face when he saw, because we showed it to him for the first time today. He literally thought, he said to us today, he says, I thought that was going to take me 10 years to pay off that debt. And 38 months later, it's gone ever, forever. And he's paying all of it back to himself now. Because the other thing too is with his debts, you know, with Duck's house, like over here, this real estate he's going to buy, when he's got this rental or whatever it is he does coming in, he's going to take that money. Where do you think that money's going to go? Right back there.
Back to Erica.
Okay, yeah. First,
Hi,
Erica. Yep. So we're going to write Erica down here. So it's got to go there. The rest is going to go back here. Why? Because he just figured out the holy grail of where he could park his capital and make uninterrupted compound interest and still have access to all of his money, folks.
So real quick, and I want to circle back to this, but Sandy, I want to answer Sandy's question. How much does the policy cost? Okay. Another way I'll phrase it is, what's the least you can do to get started if you wanted to do this? Let's answer it that way.
So Sandy, I don't know how old you are, but let's just assume, I don't know, let's just take a 50-year-old. I'm not insinuating you're 50, but if you're 50 years old, the minimum you could start a policy would be 50 times 10. Which means $500 a month is your minimum. Okay, so if you take your age times 10, that will give you the minimum monthly to start a policy.
So $6,000 for the year, but they could do it on a monthly recurring basis. You don't have to put $6,000 up front.
Yeah. Doc doesn't have to do this month or all at once. You can put that in monthly. Jason was putting it in quarterly, so
$250 monthly.
Yeah, I have people doing that, but no, not monthly. But anyway. So Jason was doing his quarterly. A lot of my policies I fund monthly, and I have one that I fund annually. There's no right or wrong way. It's like a bank account. However you want to put the money in there, that's how you put the money in. But folks, make no two ways about it. Like this might look too good to be true, what I'm telling you. This has been around for hundreds of years. You just don't know about it yet. And this is not new.
The next thing I want you to talk about, which I interrupted you. This is super big. Here comes some more ahas for people. All right. I have 100,000 in the policy. I take 90,000 or whatever out to buy real estate. And then when I pay it back, let's say I'm paying back $1,000 a month because that's what my rent is. That gets added every month, right? So it goes from 100,000 to 100,001, 100,002, 100,003 plus 4% interest. Can you talk about that?
Every penny that he's going to repay himself by being the bank, that's just money that he has available the very next day. So he takes this money out, right? And then he uses that money to buy this real estate. So now his 90 grand is in a property here, probably worth 120. Okay, let's just be simple. But that property gets rented and now he's got $1,000. He's got a choice. This $1,000 a month can go into his old regular bank account where they're going to pay him less than 1% and they're going to make 400 to 1,300% more than he is. Or he can put that money back into his bank, the bank that has his name on it. And all he had to do is change the name on the check. That's it. The check goes back into his policy, and guess what? Every penny of this $1,000 is now available to him the very next day it clears.
But to be clear, that now my policy goes from 100,000. The amount in my policy goes from 100,000 to 101, 102, 103.
Well, hold on.
No?
Kind of yes, but the 1,000 you're putting back is repaying the loan for 90 grand that you took out.
Right. So it goes against my death benefit.
Yeah. So remember this 90 grand you took out, that came from your death benefit. Okay, but they used your money as collateral. So technically 90 minus 100 means you got 10 grand accessible still in there. So when you put the $1,000 a month back into the plan, you're repaying this 90 that you took out, but dollar for dollar.
Yeah. So
I think you had it right. You were just saying it wrong.
Yeah. So I have 10,000 available to me now, becomes 11,000, 12,000, 13 every time I pay it back.
Yep. Plus, we haven't even talked about the interest. I mean, that interest is going to keep compounding over and over and over again. And most people don't even understand what that means. Like I ask people all the time, explain to me what compound interest is. They can't. They don't have any concept of what that is. So let me just show you numbers. This is a smaller policy. This is same plan as Ducks, but this is my plan. So what I want to show you, I'm just going to go right over here to returns. So compound interest, most people don't even understand it. That's why Albert Einstein said, those that understand it earn it, those that don't pay it. Most of us have been taught to just pay it and let somebody else earn it. If your money for 5 years, if you just put 10 grand into one of these accounts and your money, that 10 grand every year, whether it's in your account or you take it out to buy real estate, that money is earning 4% plus the dividend. So every year your 10 grand is making 6%. But the second year, you now have 20 grand in there. The third year, you have 30 grand, but it's not. It's 10,000 the first year plus 6%. So 10,600. So the second year, you're earning 6% on 10,600. So let's just say that's 11,100. Then now you're earning 6% on 11,100. And I can't do the math because we're not able to do compound interest, but the impact of that is here. Year 5, this is my plan, okay? Year 5, this 10 grand I put into this account that year earns, it's actually 10.7%, but I rounded it up to 11%. My money in the 5th year is making 11%. And most of you would look at that and say, well, how can that be? You just told me I'm only making 4 plus the dividend, which is 6. Yeah, 4 plus the dividend is year 1. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6. That money compounds. So you're making more interest on a higher balance because the only way the money can go is up. By year 11, okay, by year 11, I'm only putting in $4,000 in year 11 because that's all the IRS lets me. My 4,000 makes me 38.42. Now let me ask you this. Imagine walking into your bank, you make a deposit of $4,000, 10 years from today. You give the bank 4,000. You walk back in the bank 3 days later and you say, hey, I was just wondering how much money can I take out of my account? And the bank says, well, Mr. Noggle, you have the 4,000 that you put in, plus we paid you $3,842 in interest. So you have $7,842. How much money would you like? And you say, well, give me it all. And you take it all out. How much money are you still earning interest on? Every penny of it. That's compound interest. Like that's a 90, folks. I'm not making these numbers up. It's a 96% cash on cash return on your money. And it just gets sillier. The further I go, I'm just going 5 and 10 years into this thing. But
all right. You get into your numbers and you
well, I'm just saying, like that's
well, let me answer some viewer questions, which are really, really, really good. Okay. So where it goes? Here he goes. Here we go. Yali, who's been following us for a long time, says 20 times my age. Am I better off taking out 2 policies or 1 large one?
Great question. 1 larger, because each policy has a policy service fee. Mass Mutual is $50 a year. Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's still $50. If you had 1, it's only $50 per year. If you have 2, it's $100. So you're better off with just 1.
Deb English. So what am I paying my insurance company? Like that's the problem. People sign up for shit and they don't know what they're buying.
Yeah. You got to understand, folks, this is not a normal life insurance policy that we're talking about here. This is a very, very specially designed and engineered plan to do banking with. It's not the stuff you go to the store and buy or the life insurance store and buy. It's not what you buy from your advisor or your life insurance agent. This is totally different. And I guarantee you, I challenge all of you. Go to your insurance agent, whoever that is, whatever company they work for, and say, hey, I just heard about this privatized banking thing, this infinite banking. Can you build me one of those plans? And get the illustration. And then what I want you to do is just email me, chris@themoneymultiplier.com. Email me the illustration they gave you. And I guarantee you will look at it and say, this is definitely not what Chris was showing. And
I've got a couple of things that this is really good. So a longtime follower, Eileen Fry, talking about the 10 times your age. She says, that's less than my Social Security. Yeah, that's the point. You can take your Social Security check, right? Instead of it going automatically into your Bank of America, your Bank of the West, your Wells Fargo, instead of it going there, can it automatically be deposited into your infinite banking system?
Yeah, we could set it up that way. I mean, we probably have it go to the bank account first for books and records and then send it to the insurance company. Eileen, I have a ton of people doing exactly what you just said. They're like, well, I got these Social Security checks coming in. I mean, that money just goes in the account and we don't live off that. It's just extra. Look, that's like the perfect thing to put in.
Or a pension or retirement or firefighters, police, teachers union. Like, set it up automatically and just forget about it.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and day in and day out on how people use these. Shauna, my director of operations, uses her policy to take her daughter on vacation to Disneyland once a year. We did a video. It's super cute. I wear the little bunny ears or not bunny ears, the mouse ears. But that's what her policy is for. The only thing, she has no debt. She, just doesn't have a lot of the things that other people have that they need to use this for. So she said, well, wait a second. Can I get the money back for the vacations I take my daughter on? We ran the math, and absolutely. So every vacation she takes her daughter on, she makes money twice.
Wow. Because she pays back she borrows the money to take the vacation, and then
she actually uses her Disney card. So she swipes her Disney card because she gets rewards, but she's got her policy. So as soon as the Disney statement comes in, she just pays it off in full. So she then got the Disney rewards, plus she made the interest and dividends on the policy. And we ran that today. It was pretty
smart here. She wants to know, there has to be a cost to the policy?
Sure, of course.
So how is that being calculated?
Well, I already talked about that. So the cost was the $50 that I just told you, okay? That's the direct policy service fee. But is there a cost for this death benefit, for this $435? Absolutely. So the insurance company has a cost in there. So what is it? I don't know. It's factored in all these numbers. It's not like on top of the numbers I'm showing you. So if in year 5, I made 11% on my money that I deposited that year, I don't know, what was the cost? Maybe the cost was another percent or another 2%. But to me, cost is only an issue in the absence of value. And the last time I checked, making 11% on my money, pretty much guaranteed. Like that's it. But there's
the answer because it's really a bigger philosophical answer about how you think about money, which I don't really care about the cost. Like, I don't really care what this one thing costs me if I can sell it for more, or I can make more, or if there's more. In your case, you said if there's benefit.
Yeah, you know, like use the COVID test, right? Like if I buy the COVID test for one price and I turn around and sell it for more, do I care what I paid for it? No, I care what I got for it in the end. Now, I'm not trying to hide that there's a cost for the insurance, but make no ways about it. I mean, the insurance company is not paying $435,000 out to your beneficiaries the day you die for free. But is the cost much? No, it's really not. But do I know what the cost is? True answer, and you guys can look for it. I do not.
Let me give you this is one of those sneaky things about math that the average person, not that y'all are average, y'all are above average, right? You're Dr. P viewers, you're above average. But this is what like the average people don't think about. Like these companies have mathematically figured out exactly like what it takes for them to make a profit at the end of the death benefit. Am I right, Chris? Like they've really figured out all the different scenarios, all the small amounts, and they just want to make a fair profit at the end of the day and give you huge benefit. I feel like I'm selling for them. I don't have anything to do with it.
You're right. I mean, a lot of people think insurance companies like get rich just because of your policy. No, insurance companies make the money they do because they've been doing this for hundreds of years, and they make just enough off of each one to be profitable. But they've been doing this for hundreds of years. Plus, insurance companies have some of the most brilliant investment teams ever, because those investment teams, unlike Wall Street, don't take unnecessary risk. They can't. They invest in sure things. They invest in U.S. treasuries. They buy real estate. They put their money in things that might not pay a reward or a return for them for 50 to 100 years because they have time.
Well, we got a serious question, Chris. Pam wants to know, what if I cash out my 401k and dump it into this type of account? That is a tricky question.
It is.
I don't want to put you on the spot. It's possible, but
I'll challenge it. I'll give you the answer. So, Pamela, that's a great question. One that I get asked a lot. One that I always answer with caution. So you could cash out your 401k. This is COVID year. There's the CARES Act still in force for the rest of this year. You could take the money in your 401k out and not have to pay an early penalty fee, which is 10%, and you could have 3 years to pay those taxes back. However, if you take your money out of your 401k, there is going to be taxes due on that, okay? And once you take that money out, you'd have to consult with your tax advisor, your CPA, to make sure that that doesn't bump you into a higher tax bracket. And if it does, you really need to think about doing that. Now, would I suggest cashing your 401k out to start one of these? I don't know. I don't know your circumstance. I don't know your situation. Now, if you're buried in debt and you got a ton of debt that you're paying 15 to 20% on that debt, and if we canceled or cashed out your 401k, put the money in here, took the money from here and paid off all your debts, and then recaptured the money that you give to the credit card companies, then yes, it would make tons of sense. And we've done that. But I wouldn't be as quick to say, oh yeah, cash out your 401k and put it into this. That might not be the right answer. That might not be the right thing for some people.
He's using his policy to buy Bitcoin to hedge the dollar.
I do a lot of work with Mark, and Mark sent me an article that Mass Mutual, this company here and your company, Doc, just took I believe, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was $100 million that they bought of Bitcoin. Now, why in the hell would a giant mutually owned insurance company buy $100 million of Bitcoin?
Can I guess? Can I guess, Professor?
There you go. Let's hear it.
They don't trust the dollar anymore.
Bingo. It's hedging against currency risk. They are deathly afraid that the U.S. government is destroying the dollar. And if they value everything on the U.S. dollar, which we have to in the States, we don't have an option, then they want a hedge against that. And what is that hedge? Digital currency. So if that's not, like when Mark sent that, 100 million, Mark sent that to me, it opened my eyes. I'm not a Bitcoin expert. I don't even talk about, I don't know enough about it. Mark knows 100 times more than I do, but you know what? It made me open my eyes and say, this is real.
I come from the Grant Cardone school of like real estate. Like I know real estate, I can touch it. I can piss on it if I need to.
Correct. I
can look at it. I can walk the property. Bitcoin. No.
But a big mutual insurance company that does their research and takes a long time researching something before they do it, to put $100 million in, it's just enough to get my attention and say,
I feel like we're just hitting our stride. But last question, man. It's an hour and a half, and
yeah, I know it's good.
These viewers are tired. Teresa wants to know, could this be used for retirement? I'm like, duh. This is best.
100% duh.
We love you, Teresa.
And then you go and totally redeem yourself. So here we go. I'm going to show you. This is my plan. I'm just not going to get into the numbers, but I just want to show you. So I use my plan not only to do loans.
Oh, by the way, Chris, you keep saying my plan, but you've got 7 or 8 plans.
I have 7 plans. This is my 7th plan. So right here. So folks, like this is retirement. So what I'm showing you here is my plan, my 7th plan. I have 6 others, which I use to buy cars and everything else. So I figure by the time I'm 65, I put Vivi through college or send her on a wild surfing excursion. But here you can see I've got all this money. Now I'm only using the guaranteed 4%, but I want you all to focus on this number right here. What I'm doing at 65 is I'm taking tax-free withdrawals of $60,000 per year. Each one of these years, this is $60K each year, all the way down until I'm 84 years old. Okay. So I take out $1.5 million. I repaid none of that money. I put none of that money back in. It's a big zero. Okay. I just take it all. I just take it out for retirement. Over the course of the life of this plan, 42 years, I've put in $227,000. Now, folks, I want to also be clear. This is only the guaranteed numbers. This doesn't include a dividend ever being paid, because I wanted to do this way. I take out $1.5 million, okay, over the course of this. I put in 227 and I take out 1.5 million, guaranteed. And how did I take that money out? $60,000 a year for my retirement income, okay? Before
uninterrupted compound interest, baby.
There you go. Here's me taking money out for Vivi's college, $40,000 a year for Vivi's college. Okay, so I put her through college. And here's the first couple of years, year 1, 2, and 3. I take loans out in year 3, in year 5, in year 7, in year 9, and I loan that money out to real estate investors at 10 or 12%. This is what I'm going to do with this plan. This plan's brand new. I just started it this year. But I just want you to see that's like a life cycle of how these plans can work. So can you use it for retirement? That's $60,000 tax-free, folks. How much is $60,000 tax-free in taxable dollars? A lot.
Hey, but is $60,000 going to be worth anything when you're
No, probably not.
You'll be buying a
But if you think for 1 second that's going to be my only income by the age of 65, you misjudged me. That's what else did you learn from Grant Cardone? You need multiple income streams.
The net, like the trapeze artist.
Yeah.
That's your net that's going to catch you. That's the worst of the worst.
It's guaranteed.
That'll keep you from being homeless or hungry. Yeah.
The biggest advice that I think Robert Kiyosaki teaches people, and that I also teach, is, the people that only have one income are setting themselves up for a terrible failure. But you have to build multiple income streams. The equity in your house could create one income stream. Your W-2 income's another. Selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace is another. Folks, I'm not going to get into how much I make, but I make a lot of money. Okay. I don't have to do this. I don't. I'm just being honest. I'm not bragging. But I grew up in a household and in a family that we had no money, and they can't get that out of me. And you were talking about your Facebook listings, your Facebook Marketplace, folks. Every day I'm listing stuff. Every day, adorable elephant ultrasonic mist humidifier sitting in my basement. Picture of the cityscape bed. I just sold this one yesterday. Bed mattress, box spring, and bed. Like, you guys can like laugh at me for this, but like, folks, listen, this stuff is sitting in a basement or a garage. I don't need this money, but I still do this. Why? Because this is just another income source.
Just for the people who watch it, I think it's hilarious that Chris is selling an old mattress on Facebook Marketplace when he just bought his wife a Porsche SUV.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it gets even sillier. I sold a light fixture for $5. I sold an old microwave for $25. I sold a solid wood exterior door for $25. Electric fireplace for $40. Like, you guys can laugh all you want, but you know what? That's $40 I have that you don't. Like, this stuff was doing nothing. I'm in real estate, so like, why do I have an old bed mattress spring? Because we used it to stage houses. That's why.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there, and I'm not really flipping houses.
Well, I think Mark is right. Your passion about money and financial education just really shows, and that's why I want to laugh at you for.
Oh, I love it. Like,
it only took us an hour and 40 minutes to get to this.
I want people to laugh at me for stuff like that, and I was going to show it early on, but I forgot, and it brought that up. But I mean,
awesome.
I'm not above that just because I make a lot of money. Like, I enjoy doing that, and because what Mark said, money isn't something to me. Money is a tool to me. Money is a tool that allows me to do fun things like buy, that Amazon thing and give it away. Money is a tool that allows me to give hats away and all sorts of fun stuff and help other people. And once you rise above that and you start focusing on helping other people.
Eric telling all my stuff too.
Yeah. And I know you guys do this. That's why I think it's just awesome that you teach people to do that, because there's not many other people doing it because their ego gets in the way. Oh, I don't want people knowing I'm selling stuff. I don't want to listen. Like, I got 5,000 followers on here, and all 5,000 see me listing a bed mattress. Some of them might be like, I'm not following this guy. Good. Bye. Like, you don't need to.
No, at the end of the day, it's practice what you preach. Like, you don't want to have weight loss surgery from a fat weight loss surgeon. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't work. You don't want to go to the gym and hire the fattest trainer. It doesn't work, and you want a financial advisor who fucking talks the talk and walks the walk. You don't,
And I'll tell you, I do. I'm more than talk the talk and walk the talk. And there's not a single person that can ever talk me off of that, because I've lived it. I've failed enough times to know what's right.
I love it. Honestly, like, you're doing this awesome training tomorrow. It's free. I have it scrolling at the bottom. We've kind of been a while since we've talked about drvmoney.com. Just type it in, drvmoney.com. And you can win the Echo show as a prize if you show up. It's only for my people.
That's it. No one else has this opportunity. And don't
started at 300 people. We're at 140 right now. And so your chances of winning that Echo is really good.
Really good.
So you're looking at 1 out of 140 people, because only half of the people will actually take you up on that offer, because they think it's a scam or too hard. It can't.
We'll have a ton of fun with it. I'll put it all over my social media. I'll send it to you, the winner, and if you want to post it, you can. I mean, like,
oh my God, that'd be awesome.
I mean, what a great gift. It'll come after Christmas, but still, it just doesn't matter. It's going to be a great gift.
It's so funny. I just ordered one today. So oh wait, that was, ignore that, Erica. That was.
Wow.
Erica, you didn't hear me say that.
I'm like, what did you say? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it was an hour and 40 minutes. I blew 20 minutes earlier talking about
it. Oh, you didn't blow it, man. It was fun. drvmoney.com. Just go to that website, drop your email address and your name. Tell him to show up for the webinar. He'll mail it to you later if you need to. But don't be a dick. Show up to the webinar. You just learn something. And the case study, that Devin guy will be there to talk about it.
Yeah. And then, another thing, if you can't get your questions out in the webinar, we do a happy half hour. It's going to be a happy hour tomorrow at 4:30 tomorrow. So you watch the webinar at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then at 4:30, we do a happy hour where Devin's going to be on and you can ask him more questions intimately. It's a very small setting. We have a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Debbie says, I registered, but not seeing anything about the Echo. That's totally.
Debbie, you won't, because the registration is just the main registration, but we created a special link that tracks everybody that registers from this.
For Dr. V. That's how
technology is pretty cool. Yeah. You're not going to know anything about the Echo, but we are giving it away only to those that register from this event.
Yeah. So you got to do this link, the drvmoney.com.
That's the only link that works for it. Otherwise, you won't be put in the registration.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be more people than that there tomorrow, but only the people who use this DRV Money link we'll do it. And I'm not getting paid anything, by the way. I mean, I'm not.
Well, we're not. There's like literally, there's nothing here that's being sold. Like I'm just
It's free, so I'm not getting make.
And there's nothing tomorrow. Like you're not going to get on this thing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I knew they were going to sell something. No, you're going to be disappointed if that's what you think. You know, just like earlier, somebody thought like I was.
This is a good wrap up to how we started. We actually started talking about that 750 because we wanted to give some people.
I just wanted to give something away.
And everyone's like, "It's a scam! You're selling something." We're like, "Oh my!"
I was so upset. I'm just like, screw it. Then none of you need $750. That upset me. I felt bad that I even brought it up. And oh well.
Are you snowboarding this winter? The storm is coming. You got another northeaster coming.
Yeah, nor'easter. We went surfing Sunday. So a nor'easter means we get really good surf on Lake Ontario, and I got the perfect surf spot. So I'll surf, and then maybe I'll go snowboard.
Like in cold water?
Yeah, it's cold, man. It's 42 degrees. I got a wetsuit.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Clearly a lot. I mean, a pro snowboarder, and I surf the lakes in the winter. I mean, you guys, you know what? You guys want to laugh?
God, that's crazy.
Let me finish my part on this. I'm going to give you guys all a really good laugh. I want you to go to Google, and I want you to Google Great Lakes surfing. And I just want you to watch a couple of videos. And that's my dumbass. You'll see the icicles off of our wetsuit. Great Lakes surfing. And yes, it's real. And we've been doing it for over 20 years.
Look, we didn't offend Teresa. She's still here. She's like, I registered, so she'll be there.
Awesome.
And Debbie's going to come. That's awesome. Sandy, she's 49. You offended her. You said she was 50.
But still, Burr, you're right. You know, the worst part about surfing lakes in the wintertime is, you know, when the wave comes at you, you duck dive under it, which means like the very first time you're paddling out, the first wave you go under, you get a flush. That's what it's called in the wetsuit. The water goes in the wetsuit and it hits your face. And there's a moment where like you're paralyzed. And I swear to God, that's what it is. You can't move until the water warms up inside the wetsuit, and then you're good to go. But that's the part we dread. We're like, oh my God, that first duck dive. But you just get it out of the way. You take that leap and you do it.
That's awesome. I hate the cold. I don't like my feet to be cold. All right, Chris. Well, I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's time to put the baby to bed. And
oh, yeah. My wife's probably sent me 50 text messages.
Where are you? But, bro.
Oh, yeah. There it is. It's 9:30.
Hang tight. I still have a question for you afterwards, but thanks for coming, Chris. Your knowledge is awesome, and your energy is super infectious, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And it's an honor and a privilege.
All right. Hey, guys, for those of you still watching, go register. I mean, Chris is one of my really good friends. He's legit. He's everything he talks about. He's got the passion behind it. You will win this Echo Show. It's only from the people who use this link, drvmoney.com. So out of all the hundreds of people that will be there, literally, I'm telling you guys, at the start of this broadcast, we literally had 300 people on all the different channels. And we started talking about that stupid $750 money thing. And it literally dropped down to like 150 people. And so literally, usually only half the people, or if you're lucky, will do anything. So you're competing against maybe 75 to 100 people for that Echo. And you don't even have to be there or watch it. He just said that. He was so frustrated. He wanted you there at first, but I don't know. So your odds of winning that Echo Show is really, really good. But that would do me a favor. My buddy Chris is probably kicking himself for doing that, but he's a good guy and he won't lead you astray. And full disclosure, we're working on my infinite banking policy. And Chris and I will be back and we'll walk you through my whole infinite banking policy. I will show you the dollar amounts. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to blank it out. I will show you the bank account with the number and how much is in there. And one of the things I promised you when I started this was that I would walk you through my deals. So we talked about me doing real estate. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with that money. I've actually talked to Chris about investing in some collector cars that hopefully won't lose value. So, we talked about Bitcoin or silver or whatever. I'm like, for me, it's like, hey, I could use a classic Corvette and it won't gain that much money, but I can drive it around. It won't lose that much money. So we were talking about that. And so I will totally be in full disclosure. So if you want to learn about that, go to drvmoney.com. Join us on this crazy great ride. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for staying. Thank you for registering. Look at that, Pamela. Yes, Laurie. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And if you win the Echo, give it to me if you don't want it. So, all right, guys. Good night, and thanks for staying up with us. Bye, guys.